Hello, everyone. It's your girl, CicelyRenee, and we are back with another podcast. This is She Sits at His Feet podcast, where we talk about all things faith-based, living your best godly life. And we have amazing guests with us today, and we are going to talk about routines. And so get your notebooks, get a pen, and start taking some notes because we're about to have a good time. Welcome, Neyna. I'm so excited that you're here.
Yay. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here talking
I'm
about something I love to talk about. So I'm excited.
Yes. Okay, so tell us a little bit about you.
Well, my name is Neyna. I am married for almost 30 years, believe it or not. And I have an awesome granddaughter who is a year and a half. I'm blessed to have a daughter, and I have a son-in-law, and I just love living life and spending as much time as I can with my family. Of course, the grandbaby, she steals my heart, and, I just want to just snatch her up and spend every minute I can with her. But I do work full time. I work in the hospitality industry, so that keeps me busy. But I love just doing this. I love watching podcasts. I love following you. I just love just the energy, and I just love the fact that I think we can all learn from everyone. And I'm happy to be here, and I thank you for inviting me.
Yes, I'm so excited. So yeah, Neyna and I have been working one-on-one lately, and I'm just like, when she signed up to be on the podcast, I was like, yes, this is so exciting. Do you want to kind of give a little sneak peek about like what we have been working on?
I do. I'm so excited. It's so hard because I was even telling my husband just yesterday, because I don't want to tell him everything. I want it to be a surprise. And of course, I'm so excited and just happy that I'm finally doing this journey of mine. I want to tell everyone, but I kind of want to, keep it a surprise too. But anyway, something I've been wanting to do, and it's been on my heart for a few years, is to honor my grandmother. And my grandmother, my big mama, as we called her, was very instrumental in my life. She was the head of the household as far as, of course, I had my parents, but she really kept all of us together. And she was the go-to. She was the glue. She was the strength. She was just that woman of God that you just looked up to and you respected. And she just had a presence about her that I miss. And I wanted to honor her with a cookbook. And maybe not so the traditional way, it's not going to be her recipes, so to speak, but it's just her legacy and how much she meant to me, and I'm sure my entire family. And I just wanted to just share my story, because I know there's a lot of other people that might be in the similar situation where you had someone, whether it was your big mama or not, that kind of brought the family together for the holidays and for the birthdays and for those, backyard barbecues or whatever, those Easter Sundays, kind of brought the family together. And of course, with the family being together, there was always food. There was always food around, a big buffet of, all the family favorites. And I wanted to do a cookbook to honor her, and to share some of those family recipes. So that's something that we're working on together. I'm excited about. And I have to share the story that I met you through one of your Bible journaling classes that me and some friends went to. And I'll say it again, your energy and just what you just put out just inspired me to do this. Because like I said, it was an idea, it was a thought that was put in my head, but it really wasn't until I met you that I'm able to bring it to life and to see that I'm actually putting pen to paper and I'm writing, those thoughts, and, I'm connecting with my family to get their feedback. It says a lot. So I thank you for that. It really is a very special part of my life right now that I cannot wait to share with everyone else. So,
Oh, I'm so glad.
yeah.
And I'm super glad because I'm just like, I literally just went all in, serving God and like, okay, God, tell me what I'm supposed to do, where I'm supposed to go. And so he has been connecting me with people and my life has been changing. And it's just like, wow. Like when we're obedient to God, things just
Yeah.
change. Things happen. And of course, it's not like easy, like it's not super easy, but because you have God, you can go through it and be okay. Have that endurance, and so I'm glad that you saw that light, and I'm praying that I continue to like share the good news through creative ways. So thank you. So cool. So you're talking about like routines. So like in your family, you guys had routines of like meeting up on Sundays, having dinner, and so let's talk a little bit more about like your morning routine. Like so, routine from family to personal.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, something that I kind of had to revisit. I kind of had to dust off my morning basket, if you will, and kind of revisit it because I think I'm just like anybody else. Life gets in the way and I have to really, dig deep to kind of get myself together and kind of get back into my morning routine. But what I've found is when I am, involved in that morning routine, how instrumental it is in my life. And one of the things that I try to do is be consistent and to do it as often as I can. I'm not a morning person. For those of you that know me, know I'm not getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning with smiles and singing and all that stuff. That's just not my personality. I was not wired that way. But when I do get a head start on my day, I'm able to get accomplished. I'm able to not feel rushed and I'm able to have that time for me. And I think that's the most important thing is I don't care who you are, I don't care how busy you have to have at least that 5 minutes, that 10 minutes, whatever that time is that you can carve out for yourself. You owe yourself that and you need to give yourself that. And that's what I do every day to tell myself I need that. Not that it's 6 o'clock in the morning, but that I need it. I need that time for myself, that me time. And we need to make sure that we carve out that time for ourselves. So what I usually do, I try to start, well, first I will kind of trick myself and I will have that alarm go off like about 5:30 so I can kind of get awake and kind of get my thoughts together. And it's not like the alarm goes off and I hit the ground running, because again, I'm not a morning person, so that's not going to be me. But I will let that alarm, go off, and I'll just kind of lay in bed, toss and turn. And then when that 6 a.m. alarm goes off, that next alarm goes off, that's when it tells me it's time for me to get up and to get my day started. So that's what I'll usually do is go ahead and get up. I'll spend probably about 10, 15 minutes in the shower, brush my teeth, and then, I'm heading to my room in here to get started. And I usually started off with my basket, and it's just a basket filled of things that are important to me to get going in the day. And one of those things, again, like I said, with me time, it's very important to have that quiet time. So during this time, my husband's, still asleep. So, it's still a little dark outside too. And I can get my basket and I can literally go through. What I like to do is pick one of my devotional books. I have a million and one devotional books, but I usually pick two or so that I have in my basket that I can pick up and I can read that devotional of the day. Um, I will sometimes open up that Bible and also spend some time in the Word of the Bible. But I'll look at that devotional and really kind of think about how it applies to what I'm going through at that moment and kind of reflect. And I'm a planner girl. I have a million and one planners. I love journaling. I love planning. I love all that stuff. So once I've kind of just had it all kind of sink in a little bit, I will spend some time writing in my journal. I might write in my planner, as far as what the specific um, topic that kind of hit me of what I need to do in my day. And I'll spend a good 15 minutes just doing that. And that's that quiet time. That's that quiet time that I think that we don't give ourselves. And no, it's not a lot of time, but you don't need a lot of time. You don't need a lot of time. And the 15 minutes is just that devotional time for me to reflect and how I'm going to apply it for the day. And then I'll spend maybe a good 5 or another 10 minutes where I'll spend time in prayer. And that's when I want to pray for my friends, my family, coworkers, whatever's on my heart, what's going on in the world. I do keep a prayer journal, and I write down prayers as I am conversating with family or friends or whoever it may be. They might need prayer, and I want to make sure, if I'm going to tell you I'm going to pray with you on whatever you're going through, I got to write it down, because otherwise I'll forget it. So I'll write it in my prayer planner, and I'll spend about 10 minutes where I can, be very true to what I said, and that is pray for whatever that family member or whoever needs that prayer at that time. So that quiet time for me is just me and God, and having conversations. And like I said, I'm not a morning person, and sometimes I might hit that snooze button. I'm not going to lie. There's been times where I hit that snooze button and I'm racing out the door just to, get everything that I need to get done to get my day started. And I might not have my prayer basket, but I'm driving in that car. I have about a 40-minute commute, if not longer, depending on traffic. And that's my time to spend time with me and the Lord too. So even though my morning routine is very important, if I don't make the time for it, I'm going to make some time for it in my day somehow. And it might be through that drive to work. It might
Oh
just
yeah.
be through that drive to work.
I
hmm
love that. So when did you start this morning routine? Like, has this been something that you've done since you're like a child, or when did you pick this up?
I started probably, I've been in Texas now. My husband and I, we lived in Atlanta, Georgia for about 25 years. And then we moved back to Texas here to be with family. And I started it when I was in Georgia. And obviously, with the move here, it kind of shifted things around for me, and I kind of got off schedule. So I would say I've been doing it probably a good 8 years or so, a good 8 years. And it kind of started with a book I was reading called Miracle Morning
Okay.
by Hal Aldridge. I'm not sure his name, but the book is called Miracle Morning. And I started reading his book, where it was talking about just that, about how important it is to get started, an earlier start in your day, so you do have that quiet time and you have that time to reflect, that time for prayer and all of that. And so I've taken components of that book to apply it of how I want to do it. And for me, it was really that prayer time, and that time with me and God, and setting out the day and putting out there what I want my day to be. I'm one of those. I try always to put that positivity out, because I
Mhm.
think once you put it out, that's what you're going to receive. And I think it's very important not only to speak it, but you got to surround yourself by that positivity and by positive people, and just have it all around you. So I try to speak that, and I try to share that with others, and hopefully my energy is speaking that as well. So it's just, I think, important to make that whatever you can,
Yeah.
make it, depending on what your routine is. You might have kids.
Yeah.
And you might have to incorporate that somehow in your schedule around the kids. So yeah, it's probably been about 8 years, and it's been up and down. And I've been off the bandwagon, and I get back on. But again, what's important to me is how it really sets my tone for the day, and how important it is to, make sure you set that positive tone.
Yes, I love that. And like while
Mhm.
you were talking about like being intentional with your time, I'm like, I don't have any kids yet. But I was thinking of like ways to find that time. I was like, ooh, what if we just had like a Bible basket or a devotional basket in the bathroom and you just shut the door and just, whatever 2 minutes, 3 minutes you can get away and just like spend time with God. I was like, that would be really cute having, a like a what is it, a bookshelf in the
Yeah,
bathroom with
yeah,
that'd be really cool.
yeah. It's so funny because my my morning basket is actually a diaper bag, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna see if I can pick it up and show you guys real quick. It's packed, but it's
Oh
actually
wow,
a diaper bag.
that's
And I
smart.
have and it's like the perfect bag because it has all those compartments. It has all those little nicks and crannies that you can put your books, and you can put your post-its and your pens and all that fun stuff. So yeah, it's just funny you should say that because I'm using a diaper bag as my morning basket.
I love that. I never would have thought of that. That's
I
so great.
know.
I bet you it's cheaper than like because you'll go to like Joann's and they have these like compartment bags and they're like $70, and I'm not sure like how much the diaper bag is, but I just find like that's a really nice hack. That's a really good
Hmm.
hack.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
thank
And
you.
you can use almost anything. And and the thing of it is, you don't even need nothing. You need just a notebook, or, you don't even need that. You have your voice, you know,
Mhm.
and, God is ready to listen. I mean, he's ready to talk to you. So, just start that conversation. That's really all you need is your voice, and to start that conversation. I just happen to have all those other fun things to kind of help me stay focused,
Yeah.
and to kind of help me with the challenge that I have sometimes. And I think we all get to this point, is we're surrounded by so much negativity. You turn on the news. I don't even listen to the news anymore, because I don't want that fed in me. I just don't want that. um so we're surrounded by it in so many ways, so that my morning basket is filled with my devotional. I have a gratitude journal. I have an affirmation journal. I have a journal just so I can write down my thoughts. I have my prayer journal. It's all of that right there to just keep me focused, and to keep that positive energy in me, so then I can spread it out too to other people.
I love that. I love that. And so like growing up, so I was born and raised in the church and I didn't have any routines. Like it was like more tradition. Like you just go to church, do this, and you go home and do your life. And so I didn't start a routine until about like I think it started maybe in December, like the end of December. And I was just like, oh, okay. And so now I have this like basket and it is full and need to figure out something else. I need something bigger. Because what I do, so like one thing that I'm blessed with is being able to work from home. And so my mornings are
That is a
so
blessing.
is, and I definitely feel spoiled and I'm grateful for it. Because that was like when my prayer was like, God, I have to get a full-time job, but I don't want to go nowhere. I want to stay at home and spend time with you, really,
Yeah.
until He allowed it to happen. And so now I'm just like an addict. Like it becomes addicting. And it like it's that thirst and that hunger for the word. And so like for me, I do a lot more like in-depth Bible studying, and then lately I've been doing like creative, activities like Bible journaling and making like faith cards that I want to pass out to people. And so like I just take it like it's just nice. And so like you, I'm not a morning person. I'm like but I was planning on changing my alarm clock to 6:45 tomorrow so I can get up just a little bit earlier, be more intentional with my day. Because
Mm-hmm.
it's go by fast. Like it just is so quick. And I'm like, okay. Then all of a sudden you forget that you're supposed to do something. I'm like, I don't want to be
Yeah.
rushed. So
But it's almost
yeah.
like, I know for me, I know a lot of people, and I mean, I need to be working out, but I'm not working out. But it's almost like how people say, oh, once I get to the gym and I get that workout done, I feel so much better. I just got to get
Yeah.
there. And
Yeah.
that's how it is for me. I gotta just get up. And that's why I try to trick myself by setting that alarm a little bit earlier so I'm awake and my mind is starting to start thinking about what's going on with the day and all that stuff, and then I can kind of get out there and I can get my morning started. So but to me it's very similar to those that go to the gym. Once I'm up, I'm good to go, and I feel so much better about my day. Again, it's like setting that tone. You got to set that tone for your day, and I need to feed myself with
Yeah.
that positivity, with the affirmations. The affirmations are so critical, I think, too, because I have that little voice like we all do where I'm thinking, oh well, I can get this done today, and then that little voice is just like, well, how are you going to get that done when you got and it's
Right.
just like, I stop. I don't
Yeah.
want to listen to that voice again. So again,
Right.
it's about feeding all of that, into my soul. So I have that strength that I need to tackle the day.
Oh yes. And so like one of the scriptures is what, like, out of the abundance of the mouth the heart speaks. So if you're like putting a whole bunch of good stuff in your heart and your heart is more positive stuff will come out, or some crazy stuff
Mhm.
will come out on what you're putting in there, right?
Yeah.
And so like spending that time talking with God, your devotionals, putting that in your system, your mental, your emotional is just it's gonna
So
make
important.
it is, and it's not just important for you, but the people you interact with too. 'Cause like you lucky. I had prayer this morning with Jesus because I would, like just thinking, I wouldn't do anything crazy because I'm just not that crazy. But like I remember my first couple of years of teaching high school. On my way, and I had like a 45-minute commute there too, and I'm praying over the kids. Like I had amazing days. But then when I fell off and started running from God, I stopped all my prayers and everything just went crazy. I was just like, what is going on? And I just remember that. I'm just like, oh, because I used to pray over my day and things were just like, God gave me the strength, his strength to be able to deal with whatever was happening, whatever was
Right.
thrown. But after that, like once I started praying, I was just like, oh, had panic attacks, anxiety. I'm
Yeah.
like, I gotta go. I'm like, something's going. I was like, oh my God. So just reflecting on the past few years and just having some morning routine set in stone, like is helpful. What even if it is in the car, like if you only have that time in the car, make use of it.
Yeah.
Um,
Make use of it. And like I said, I mean, you don't have to, overcomplicate it, because it's so simple. It's so simple. I mean, it could be as easy as 15 minutes where you have just that quiet time where you just can, feed your soul however you need to do that. You might want to just start with a cup of coffee and just sit there and meditate, whatever that is for you, because it's going to be something different for everyone. We're not all wired the same. So,
right,
my morning routine is not going to be your morning routine. There's morning people out there that will bounce up at, 5 a.m. in the morning and get a lot more accomplished than I would. And, bless them. I mean, I'm thankful and grateful for them to be able to do that. But whatever that is for you, you have to just, you, and you just got to be realistic. Don't beat yourself up and don't make it hard.
right,
Just definitely don't make it hard on yourself. Don't sit there and say, I'm going to get up at, 5:30 in the morning. If realistically, that's not going to happen. And
Right.
because I then think that's when you do start beating yourself up. And you might find once you sit down and you kind of look at your day that you might only have 15 minutes, and that's okay too. Because
Yeah.
again, if you just have that moment to just sit down and reflect and kind of just have that quiet time and me time and no interruptions, I think we all get so it's busy, 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 busy. It's go, 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 go. And you will be amazed what 15 minutes can do for you.
Hmm.
You
Oh
would be
yes.
amazed.
Oh yes. Okay, so how did you figure out your specific routine? Like, why did you choose the devotionals and prayer rather than like something else? How did you find
Well,
yours?
for me, because the church that I go to, they have morning prayer every Monday through Friday at 6:45.
Okay.
So I want to kind of get up at 6 o'clock and have it's roughly about 30 minutes that I have, because once I get up, I'll take about 10-15 minutes, brush my teeth, take my quick shower, and then that gives me about 30 minutes before 6:45 for the morning prayer time. So at 6:45, that's when I'll get on Facebook, get my church on the screen, and they'll have morning prayer from 6:45 to 7:15. Well, that's the time where I'm starting to get ready for work. That's the time where I'm sitting there, putting on my makeup, doing my hair, and I can actually be right in front of my phone and with my church at morning prayer. And then usually at 6:15, by this time too, my husband he's up getting ready for work. He gets up at probably about 7 o'clock. And so he's making the coffee and all that stuff. And so usually about 7:15, when my church ends morning prayer, that's when I can go ahead and kind of shut things down here, and I can go ahead and get dressed, start grabbing the things I need to grab to start walking out the door. And anywhere between 7:30 to 7:45, I'm walking out the door and getting ready to head on to work. So I just did it based on figuring out how much time I thought I needed for just me and quiet time. And 30 minutes was enough for me. 30
Mhm.
minutes allowed me that time for my devotional, to write, to reflect, and to also prayer time. Um, Usually what I do when I'm studying the Bible um or something like that, I need a little bit more time. I'm a little slow. So I need a little bit more time. So for me, that was not going to be part of my morning routine because I only have 30 minutes. So I needed a devotional, something quick that, I can look at and I can read and I can reflect, and then I can get started with my day. So that for me personally, that just is how I based it on, try to figure out, how much time I need, and that then helped me figure out what time I needed to get up to get started to make it to the 6:45 morning prayer with my church.
Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome.
Mhm.
So, what are some of your favorite places to get your devotionals? Are you an Amazon girl? Half price?
I,
Where do you get?
you know what? I love going to Mardell's. I will make it there. It's a Christian huh?
What is it called?
Mardell's is Mardell's,
Is that here?
Mardel. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh,
They have and one of the I got it in here, and I think I got it. I'm pretty sure I got it from there. Is maybe I didn't.
I'm sad
I can't
because
remember. But it's a local Christian bookstore, and Mardell's has a I don't have not half price, I guess a clearance section, if you will. And you can get books like for $3, I want to say they even have some for $1 and then maybe $5. They have regular price, books as well. It's just all Christian based. They have Christian t-shirts and clothing. Um, they have all types of jewelry and accessories, CDs, Bibles, just everything. So I love going to Mardell's. They send me a 20% coupon because I've signed up on their to get their notifications. So they will send me a coupon as well. So
Okay.
that's one of my favorite places. I love going to Ollie's.
Okay.
Ollie again has a great discount area on their inspirational um, section of books. So I just I'm on that hunt. When I find a good spot, that's where I kind of stick to. I love a good find. So those are probably my two favorite places,
Okay.
and I just seem to collect them. And I ask for them for gifts too. People know me. They know that, give me a good devotional. I'll be happy, you know?
Awesome. That's awesome. And I have never heard of Mardell's, and I'm like
Mhm.
Googling it. I'm like, oh, they did have one here in Louisville, but it's closed. So I guess
Oh, really?
that you go to in Frisco?
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that's Frisco. Cause I'm trying to
Yeah.
think. Yeah. There's one in Frisco and and the only other one that I go to is the one in Fort Worth, near my in-laws. But I cannot think of one like that might be in between. But yeah, the one
Okay.
in Frisco is where I go to.
I'm gonna have to put that on my list. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
I love
Um,
it. And I just they have everything. I just love it.
yes. I just found this one called Faith. No, no, no. What is it called? Oh, okay. Okay, now I forget what it's called. But they have like $5 and $10 sale day. I'm about to do because they said today's the last day.
Oh,
Um,
really? Is that
yeah.
Faith Illustrated?
So I just found out about Faith Illustrated, and I'm like, oh my gosh! So I just bought a whole bunch of stuff from there too. It's so bad. It's
I
so
know.
bad. I love Faith Illustrated. The one that the Daily Grace Co. or something like that. Daily Grace Co. And they
I'm gonna
have
have
these
to write
amazing,
that one down.
they have these thick books, these thick devotionals where they are like maybe it's a Nehemiah study or the women of faith, or they just have a whole bunch of different ones. And I was like, let me just check this out. I just bought 4 devotionals, but they have a lot of other stuff there too, like pens and stuff. And so I'm like, ooh,
Mhm.
careful. Tell me it's a sale. I'm like, no, do not send me this email.
I know.
Yeah.
It's so hard. I get sucked in. I can just look for hours and just try to narrow it down. And it's like, I need to get out of here before I get in real trouble.
Right. Oh, so
Yeah.
do you have any like weekend routines? So how is your day and your weekend the same, or what's that like?
Usually the weekday, I, I keep it just like that. And the weekend is just come for all. I mean, it's just like, I'm usually all over the place and different things happening. So it's a little harder for me
Okay.
to have a routine. I kind of just, like I said, it's like kind of like a free for all. The
Okay.
weekends is I'm all over the place. But I do try to be consistent during the week. And I think it's a little harder for me during the week. It's like, I don't know. I need it more during the week. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm more in I'm in my happy place during the week too, but I feel like I have a little bit more control of
Mhm.
that weekend a little bit. So I'm just all over the place. So no routine for me on the weekend. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I think what I usually do is just like, well, I'm going to church on Sunday, so that's my Sunday
Yeah, yeah,
time. But
yeah.
yeah, Saturday I've gotten a little funky lately, so I don't know. I'm gonna figure out something, because what I started doing was like, when I first started doing the Bible study, I'm like, I'm gonna have to do it daily, because I know if I don't do it daily, I'm gonna fall off, and it's gonna
Mhm.
be So like even with working out, I'm like, I'm gonna have to do it daily. So because I'm not gonna do it. Like I just fall off, and so that's why I don't work out because I'm not gonna do it daily.
Yeah.
So just knowing me, and what my life looks like, and just like, okay, is this gonna work? So I wanted to make sure that there's something in there. Of course, prayer is in there every day, throughout the day. And so that is something. One of the routines that I have, though, is my boyfriend's family. They do a phone call every day at 6:30, and we read a chapter. And so that has been part of my routine. So I'm like, okay, well, we're going to get it at some point today. So, just in case I do fall off in the morning or.
Yeah. That's good though. Good. That's real
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So what has been your favorite devotionals?
Um,
Questions for people?
well, I would say, let me pull my favorite. The one I'm reading now is A Little God Time for Women.
Okay.
This right here. And I just love that it's you just get on that day and you're able to just read it. The pages are also gorgeous. And you're able to just really reflect. It's just, I don't know, it's just perfect, it's compact, and yeah, I just
Okay.
love it.
I love it. One of my
Yeah.
favorite ones is it is the illustrated face. Well, Shannon Noel or something. Shannon Noel. It was 100 Days Less Hustle, More Jesus, and I think it was one of my favorites because that was like what I just finished. That was
Oh,
something
really?
but I really enjoyed it because it was like it had like journaling pages too, and so
Mhm.
I love journaling. Like it's one of my favorite things, and a prayer journal, all
Mhm.
of that. It just helps like solidify things. Like it's like you're making a contract. I'm like, okay, I said this. Something there that just bonds together, and I'm just like, okay, because like I just feel like I feel like writing is very, helpful, and like you have it, you can go back to it,
Mhm.
you can review it, because a lot of times when I'm just like, when I just talk, I'm like, I kind of forget what happens. And so I'm getting older now, so I'm just like, I definitely have to write it down. But another thing
Yeah,
is like, when you do your devotionals, do you read it out loud or do you read it in your
I read it out loud. I
head?
read it
Tell me
out
why.
loud. And sometimes I'll even write in it because it might be something that it's always amazing to me how God works too, because it's like when he just knows what you're going through and what you need right at that moment. And there's times where I'll read something and it's for that particular day, one of my devotionals, and I just have to underline it because I was just like, okay, that was for me. That was for me. I needed to hear that. So I'll write in it as well. But my journal, my prayer journal, um, I have my prayers in here, but I have a section about me. So I will reflect in my prayer journal because I do want to, I think that's important, like what you just said. You write it down, and then I want to go back. I want to go back and I want to see those prayers that was answered. I want to go back and I want to, see how I was feeling, 2 months ago, and how I was able to overcome that and reflect on that and share that testimony. I want to, be able to tell that story too, because I think it's important to share. So yeah, the journaling, it's funny because I've always been a planner person, and I can write down lists and tasks and what I need to do and all that stuff, but I've never until like the past year been too much of a journaler. I've never been one of those where I want to write down my feelings, and I want to um um write down, my day and things like that. And I didn't realize once I started doing that, how important and how that allows me to release so much, You know,
Mhm.
it's so healing. It's so healing for me. And yeah, journaling now, I just as many planners I have just as
Yeah,
many journals.
same
It's like
here.
once I go in, then it's like it's no stopping. I can't stop. So yeah, I have a lot of journals too.
Love it. I love it. I am the same way. And I definitely love a good devotion, not devotion, but like a journal as gifts. Like I love when people buy me journals. I definitely
Mhm.
love her and yeah, that's my thing. My
Yeah.
thing. So if you had any tips for someone who wanted to start a routine, what would you suggest for them?
I really just keep it simple. Don't overthink it. Really don't. Because I have all this stuff. But again, like I said, I'm a planner. I'm a journal. So this is stuff I already had. It's not like I went out and was just like, okay, I'm going to start my morning routine. So I need to go to Target because I need to go get this. It's not you don't have it's not like that. You don't have to get the basket. It's not like that. Really, just look in your house, look what you already have. You might have a journal that you are not using. You might just have a notepad that's, stuck, in the kitchen somewhere that you can just pull out and you can start using. And then as you start, maybe collecting some things, you can incorporate that. But really keep it simple. Don't overthink it. Like I said, you have your voice, you know, God, one of the things I listened to Steve Harvey on my way to work. And one of the things he says at the end, which I love, is talk to God. He would love to hear from you. And it's
Mm,
so true. Just talk to God. You have your voice. That's really all you need. But I would recommend, if there's one recommendation, is to think about writing your thoughts. Think about getting a blank notebook, spiral notebook, something even from the Dollar Tree. If you do have to go out and buy something, you don't have to spend a lot of money. Go to the school supply section of Dollar Tree. I promise
mm,
you they'll have something there for $1.25. And get a notebook and write down your thoughts. Write
mhm.
down, how you're feeling. Even if someone has wronged you or you feel have done you wrong, write that down and just pray on it and find scripture, and you'll find healing in that. It's
Yeah.
amazing once you write that down and you can release it, you find healing in it. So that really would be my big recommendation, is keeping it simple and just write it down. Write it down. I think that's very important. Very, very healing. Yeah.
It is. I do love the writing. So one of my favorite things to
Uh,
do is write. Huh?
I think I wanted to be a writer. I'm not a writer at all, but I wish I had that talent to, use all those creative words and just make it flow and all of that. But it kind of, it kind of goes to say, when you're writing it down, you're just telling your story. It does not have to be perfection. You just talk. You just tell your story and talk to God, because again, He would love to hear from you.
Most definitely. And yeah, because he's just waiting. He's a gentleman and he's not gonna push
Hmm.
himself. And he's like,
Yep.
hey, let me give you the floor whenever you're ready. I find that to
Yep.
be just so awesome.
Yep.
Do you have a favorite scripture?
I do. I wanted to. It's one of my favorite ones, and I just, I don't know. This helps me, and it's something that I try to, repeat at least once a week, because I need to be reminded in this. And one of my favorite verses is, "She is clothed in strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future." And
Mm,
it's Proverbs 31:25. And that's what gives me strength. And I just think it's so important for you to know your worth. We all need to just know how valued we are, and that, taking risks, even though it's hard, it is so worth it. And I have to tell myself that, because I'm one of those, because remember, I have that voice over there that talks
Yeah.
me out of a lot of stuff. And, I have to remind myself, like with the cookbook, for example, I've had this idea for like 2 years, but the fear of, rejection, the fear of, that is putting me out there, because, I have to take the initiative to get with my family, to talk to them. It's just so much fear involved and so many emotions. So I have to remind myself to be bold. I have that strength, and I need to go out there, and I need to just embrace it. And
Right.
I say that at least once a week, to remind myself to stay on that path, because I'm
Mhm.
worth it. And,
I
we're all worth it. And whatever obstacle or whatever challenge that you might see that you're facing, just know that God is with you and he never leaves you behind. So just go out there and do it, because we're worth it.
Amen. Amen. I love that. And I'm like, I need to go back and study that, because that last part of this scripture where you like laugh in the face of fear. What was that part? What was that? Is that what
Where
it was?
it she laughs without fear of the future.
Fear of. That's something
Hmm.
because I've been struggling with, like, the anxiety of whatever's gonna happen. I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen, and I'm struggling. And so, like, the scripture that I studied this morning was like, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your request to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts, minds, in Jesus Christ. So that was what I studied this morning, because I was just like, I was having some serious anxiety, and I was like, but I like that. So there. And
Yeah.
so that's, you find, in the word, it has everything for you. Like, it has, the scriptures to help you get through whatever situation you're going through. And so, but
Mhm.
if you're not like spending time, with your devotionals or reading the Bible, then you're not going to know what's in there. And so that is God's truth. He's talking to you. And so just, creating that routine is definitely, helpful for you as a Christian and growing, you know, uh, person, a disciple in the kingdom here, because you're not just here for yourself. You have a purpose, you have a duty. And so if you are not, fueling up, refueling, and, getting what you need from God to be able to go out there, then you're going to have a hard time. And people,
Yeah.
they need. So,
Yep. So
yeah.
true. True.
And
Yay.
what are your any final thoughts or?
Just, just go out there and just be happy, just get out there and be happy. I just, it really can't get any simpler than that. And I know people will probably be sitting there like, okay, yeah, it's easy for you to say that. No, but again, that feeding yourself with that positivity, surrounding yourself around those people with that
Mm,
positivity, it's so, so very important. And if you can just feed your soul that happy juice, then that's what you're gonna be able to put out into the world, and that's what you're gonna be able to receive.
amen.
I'm a firm believer of that.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Yes, yes, yes. Well, thank you so much for
Yay!
look, for being on the podcast. I'm so excited that you
Thank
had this conversation.
you. Thank you. No, I love this, because I mean, this is literally like we are sitting in the living room, with a cup of tea, just
Mm,
talking. you
yeah,
know, I love it.
I appreciate it. Me too. Because sometimes I do, like, interviews, but I'm just like, I want to just have conversations, talk about God and all that too. And so this one, it definitely helps me, in my mood and all of that. So this was awesome. Thank you
Oh, thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Talking about something else as well.